Jesus is Lord and Jesus was a Jew. And there's no way that I can be loyal to Jesus without supporting my Jewish brothers and sisters.
Yeshua is undeniably significant to Jewish history. He is the most famous Jewish person of all time.
Understand that God has a plan for Israel, and Israel's going to come to the place of knowing Yeshua during that tribulation period.
I could talk about the things that the Lord prefers and that God favors. But at the very top of that list is Israel.
I know why I'm born, to defend all the Jews.
Which is why I can say, and frequently do if you listen to the show, that you as a Christian should go to church. It is good for you to go to church.
Revelation declares that on that great day, Jesus Christ will return, and when he returns, he's coming to take out the nations of the world that are intent upon wiping out Israel.
Whoa, whoa.
Christ must physically come back to planet Earth to fulfill prophecy.
Yes.
He's going to fulfill Isaiah 9:6, where the government, the Bible said, will be on his shoulders. Christ's going to rule from Jerusalem. He will be king, ruler, head of state, potentate, prime minister, king of kings, whatever you want to call him. He will be Lord of the world.
Yeah.
And from Jerusalem, he's going to set up his government.
God, we thank you. We thank you for Israel.
There's really one Jew in history that is responsible for billions of Gentiles not worshiping idols. Like billions and billions of Gentiles have abandoned worshiping a statue in a temple somewhere, all because of one Jewish guy.
When he returns from the Mount of Olives, we will see the blood on the prayer shawl he wears, because he had just defeated every anti-Semite on the face of the earth. The church of Jesus Christ is victorious. The enemies of Zion are destroyed.
We appreciate the support of Christians around the world. Jews, Christians, so many others can agree on one thing. Israel is a miracle.
And that's the danger when we say, oh, the Bible is a Christian book. All of a sudden, we've cut Israel out. It's not a Christian book. It's a Jewish book.
This Rav Berkovich from Lausanne, he said to one of the Christians that worked with him in the office on Christmas night, he told him, tonight is the happiest night of my life. So the Christian asked him, Rabbi, don't be sarcastic. Tonight it's our night, it's Christianity. He said, but I'm very happy. He said, why? He said, where else you have 2 billion Christians bow down to one Jew? I heard this.
Let's go. What a fire new edit. Yes. From John Garadas. So epic. Love these mixes. Oh, what? QR code and all? Thank you so much, John. That was amazing. So epic. Such a epic edit. 72 likes. That's the type of suppression. Nobody, the E-Crusaders, the JQers, they don't want this getting out. They're desperately trying to cover it up, in fact. So much stuff to get into today. We're going to be covering America Reads the Bible, the SPLC indictment or whatever it is from the Justice Department. David Wilcock, UFO conspiracy guy, suicide. Yeshua was a Rasta. And much, much more. Gonna be a big show. That was so good there. This one's from John Garadas too. A normal reaction from the normal intuition, gut instinct when you hear somebody telling you that the King of the Jews, Rabbi Jesus, loves you.
Jesus loves you.
Oh,
Jesus
revile. Dude, you're scaring the girls, bro.
Jesus loves you. Jesus loves you.
Dude, incel in the making. Bruh.
Jesus loves you.
Political stunt, they're calling it. Critics claim slam Trump's reading of a Bible passage 1 week after posting AI images of himself as Jesus. They read through the whole Bible, I believe the New Testament also. Please tell me we're not on mute. Did I unmute it? Okay, good. We're not on mute. Sorry, I got a lot of stuff open here. Let's get some things closed. Okay. So here's the video. America reads the Bible. Nothing they fear more. He reads the verse about from 2 Chronicles about dedicating the temple, God building the temple of Solomon. Let's see it.
Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord, and in his own house he prosperously effected.
Prosperously, you mean? He's like, I didn't look at this teleprompter, only this is the first time I've read this. I've never read this verse before.
And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this.
The Jewish God appeared to the Jewish king and answered their prayers and built the temple and chose the Jews. It's all totally real, folks. Nothing they hate more.
Place to myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up heaven,
the animal sacrifices better than ever. Nobody's ever seen sacrifices like this before. Nobody's ever seen such a holy temple before. Let me tell you.
That there be no rain, or if I command the locusts to devour the land, or if I send pestilence among my people, if my people, which are called by my name, shall humble themselves and pray.
The holy nation, the treasure of God, the apple of his eye.
And seek my face and turn from their wicked ways. Then will I hear from heaven and will forgive their sin and will heal their land. Now my eyes shall be open and my ears attent to the prayer that is made in this place. For now I have chosen and sanctified this house, that my name may be there forever, and my eyes and my...
Jewish temples gotta live forever, eternal covenant, folks. I prefer the NIV myself, not much of a Bible reader. I sell Bibles, NIV, no King James. I don't like that old-fashioned talk. You know, I don't like Abraham, I like Avram.
Heart shall be there perpetually. And as for you, if you will walk before me, as David your father walked, and do according to all that I have commanded you, and shall observe my statutes and my...
Follow the Noahide commandments like God said, and they found Noah's Ark and the Shroud of Turin. It's all real. It's all real.
My judgments, then will I establish the throne of my kingdom according to as I have.
The throne of God forever. You're the footstool. God sits on the throne in heaven. The heavenly Jewish throne. Quite the throne.
Covenanted with David your father, saying there shall not fail you as a man to be ruler in Israel. But if you turn away and forsake my statutes and my commandments, which I have set before you, and shall go and serve.
I think we've already reached the most Trump has ever read from the Bible. Al's cool, thank you.
$5 I've been learning about a time period called the Ediacaran biota, earliest life forms in Earth's history. And honestly it's more inspiring than the Bible ever could and would be. how that time period led up to our existence. Happy Earth Day.
I bet it is. Evolution is so much cooler than Genesis. It's not even close. People are so annoying that try to pretend like they don't understand it or are just too slow to understand it. This is the most Trump has ever read. But, oh, yeah, by the way, powerchat.live/KnowMoreNews. It's how we support the show and stream every day. Every dollar helps. Your message read on screen. Link below. Link in the live chat on Rumble. You know what to do. Let's hit the goal. So Miss No More News can be happy.
Other gods and worship them. Then will I pluck them up from the roots out of my land which I have given them, and this house which I have sanctified for my name will I cast out of my sight, and will make it to be a proverb and a byword among nations. And this house which is high shall be an astonishment to every one.
Whoa. What did I hear about high above the nations?
A proverb and a byword among nations. And this house which is high shall be an astonishment to every one that passes by it, so that he shall say, why has the Lord done thus to this land and to this house? And it shall be answered, because they forsook the Lord God of their fathers, which brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, and laid hold on other gods, and worshiped them and served them. Therefore has he brought all this evil upon them.
Awful. We got to get on and see what the rabbis are saying about Trump reading this verse. I seen the Kim Clement Trump prophecy. Trump's the Antichrist. Trump's the Messiah people. Definitely talking about it a lot. They're sharing this. Look at this. Almost 8,000 likes. There will be a praying president, not a religious one. He will not be a praying president when he starts, but I will baptize him with the Holy Spirit.
Be a praying president, not a religious one. But I will fool the people, says the Lord. I will fool the people.
Oh, he'll fool the people, all right.
God says, the one that is chosen shall go in, and they shall say, he has hot blood. For the Spirit of God says, yes, he may have hot blood, but he will bring the walls of protection on this country in a greater.
Okay, they're saying that fulfills that shit.
Which are called by my name shall humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their
Dude, nothing they hate more. That's why they're doing this. Thank you, Liam.
Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. Sounds like he's talking about the White House. What can be like an Antichrist third temple / Israel, I think.
Yeah, the White House isn't the third temple. We're not stretching prophecy that far that the new ballroom, the Baal room, is the third temple. No. His Arch of Triumph is not the third temple. His ballroom is not the third temple. The third temple's, he very likely in the next couple of years is going to go for helping them, if the dome gets destroyed, start suggesting rebuilding the temple. Maybe even if none of it's destroyed. Okay, before we get into this Christian bit, let's do this. Where is it? Maxed Out Bear.
On Rumble. When Trump reads the Bible, my earlobe tingles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, we got some good news, folks. This is going to make Trump's base real happy. Washington Post, the White House has told federal agencies to prepare to imminently loosen restrictions on Mary J. Under the plan, the drug would be moved to Schedule 3 under the Controlled Substances Act, similar to some common prescription painkillers. They've been signaling they're going to do this for a while. It's going from Schedule 1 to Schedule 3, I believe. I'll have to look that up. Christians are really going to love this. The Trump base really hates weed. If the Trump administration was a joint, that's funny. Anyway, his son. Jews probably own all the weed patents. There's no weed patents. Yo, Joe, you ever read the Bible on weed, man? You ever seen the aliens? The UFO demon fallen angel orbs on weed, man? It was just 420 too. All right. Rastafari Jesus. Oh my gosh. Where is Rastafari Jesus? Where is it? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I lost it. Dude. Gotta find it. Hold on. Must have closed the tab. I got so much to cover. Okay, here we go. Evan Williams made this sick drop. This goes so hard. There's a white Aryan, Hyperborean, Rastafarian Jesus. I like my Jesus to party. I like my Jesus to be a Rastafarian, white Aryan, okay?
Yeshua, Rasta Shia.
Listen to the lyrics.
King Selassie was Jesus in blackface, hiding from Babylon.
Top impression is very entertaining.
I try, thank you. Oh!
Davidson now sent $10 on Rumble. I watched you debate Jim Bob once. It looked like he came into the debate knowing what the topic would be and you did not. All Jim Bob does is cross-examine and never debate his own points.
I believe that was a debate I was doing about Christianity, and he'd always super chat in asking some weird philosophical, ortho-bro, presuppositional question. The normal act they do.
Roman oppressors never knew he didn't die on the cross.
Didn't die on the cross. Escaped to Jamaica.
On 420, Yeshua smokes the herbal chalice and curses Hitler's birthday. Christ gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash down
Babylon. This is the best part. Blue and he's not a Jew. Rasta.
He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash. He smokes Yeshua.
Was a Rasta.
His pure iron DNA is the most potent strain the world has ever seen.
Yeshua.
High in Hyperborea.
I'll be your guys' Rastafari white Jesus.
Down Babylon, Yeshua was a Rasta. He smokes cross-shaped joints every day. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's not brown like hash, he's white like deity diamond. Was a Rasta. He would smoke hookah on a donkey and teach from the Torah.
Teach from the Torah. Teach from the Torah like a true Hyperborean Rasta man, dude. Evan Williams is so funny. This song is so sick.
High in Hyperborea, Yeshua gonna mash down
Babylon. Yeshua was a Rasta.
His eyes
are blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta.
He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash. He spoke Yeshua was a Rasta.
This goes so hard if you're a Christian identity pothead.
The world has ever seen.
Getting high in Hyperborea.
Gonna get high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash
down in Babylon. Yeshua. Watch, it's gonna be stuck in all your heads.
Down Babylon. Was a Rasta. High in Hyperborea. Was a Rasta.
It's gonna be the best seller with all the coping Christians online. Yeshua, best one he's done yet. So good. I love it.
Bruh.
Doesn't get better than that. Doesn't get better than that. Speaking of people denying that Jesus is Jewish, we got Vrillium today. 13,000 likes, 13,000 coping Christians, non-white, non-American, botted Christians. Saying Jesus was Jewish is like saying George Washington was British. George Washington was British. He was ethnically British. I love this cope from the ortho bro that converted from a degenerate leftist last year, 5 minutes ago. Jesus became man at, meanwhile, or official Orthodox study Bible. Jesus, quote, Jesus became man as a Jew. William, you should go to your Orthodox priest and tell him Jesus wasn't Jewish and see how that goes. Instead of coping online and gaslighting and lying to everybody with your white Aryan, not Jewish Jesus. And let's get real. He never even existed to begin with. It's a Jewish myth, even worse. Everybody was raking him over the coals in the replies too, but still somehow, it's the cope always running interference and making excuses and being the first line of defense. Meanwhile, this is real Christianity. Real Christian nationalism. Bob of Speaker's Corner says, if, and it is a big if, quote unquote, white Brits do not want to be Christians, then yes, he would be happy to see them replaced by a population of Christians from any ethnicity. He does not identify with a fake race label like white or English or British. There is no such thing as a white race. He is Anglo-Saxon, but his covenant is with God. He's grafted into the Jewish God and Yeshua. And his people, the Holy Church. My sole loyalty is to the Christian peoples of the world, period. That's real Christianity. Anything that differs from that is not real Christianity. Put Jesus first, put Christians first, you're not a real Christian. Not a real Christian. Gotta love the stock photo from the Blaze. Young men flocking to Christianity in record numbers. Oh, the Jews are doing such a great job of trying to destroy Christianity. All of you are falling for the psyop and the hoax and this revival bullshit being pushed by all the influencers, being pushed by the algorithms, pushed by all the big influencers, pushed by the politicians, pushed by the Zionists, pushed by Jews, pushed everywhere. Gotta love the Blaze stock photo, though. And it's not just an American problem. I saw Amalek shared this. This is from Brazil today. Missionary blows shofar in Jewish ritual during evangelical worship. Worldwide, wherever the Bible goes, Jew worship follows. And that's the whole point of it. Gotta love the prayer Shah. The hand-wringing prayer Shah, Yenta. Sounds awful. Yahweh loves this horn. Dude, a Viking can't even get a mug, a Viking mug, without these kooks probably saying it's a shofar. Oh, is this the Brazilian Schofield? Oh, right. I thought it was just American Zionism and John Hagee and Schofield. Oh, you're telling me everywhere? This is the new Christianity, the new Noahide kosher Christianity spreading everywhere. This is the ultimate end of Christianity. This is the logical conclusion of Christianity, and you can't do nothing to stop it and overcome a few footnotes. Exactly. Just going to get worse and worse. More people are going to see it. Christianity for the subversion it is. But we'll still have kooks like Vrillium and all these coping e-crusaders saying it's not Jewish, it's super based, and he's white and anti-Semitic and blah, blah, blah. All they're doing is running cover. Oh, dude, now they're feeling it. Unbelievable anybody falls for this. The Jesus grift, Christ is ka-ching. Every video this guy does is grifting Jesus. This highest IQ Chinese Chinaman. Every video, shamelessly shilling Jesus. And the dumb Westerners, the dumb goy, lap it up.
Money won't satisfy you. Success won't satisfy you. Only Jesus can satisfy you.
Only Jesus can satisfy you. Nothing will make you happy besides your bride Jesus, your groom Jesus. Jack Stone, what's up, dude? He says, what triggered William to spiral out about Rabbi Jesus? I don't know. They're always coping about this. Clearly, having to cope all the time about Jesus not being Jewish is a good indication that Jesus is Jewish. Good indication. Otherwise, doth protest too much. Only Jesus can satisfy me and my pocketbook and my bank account. And dude, what is this video from Protestia? Roman Catholic priest blessing the Easter water. Dude, what is going on? What is going on? Average Catholic. Hey, thank you.
Apocalyptic Christian Korean Shincheonji cult says that the first temple was in their apartment's basement in 1984.
There's a bunch of Zionist Christian sects proliferating in Asian countries as well. South American, Asian countries, African countries. You know the Zionists are doing the outreach and the missionary work, right? You know the kosher Catholics are doing the missionary work. You think it's going to be based e-crusader, Twitter, anti-Semite Christianity all over the world? You're not even a fraction of a percent of influence of Christianity around the world, and all you do is run cover for it and are an obstacle to addressing the Christian problem. Is this... Dude, he's blowing on the holy water, huh? I thought this was just a Kenneth Copeland thing. COVID, I blow you away.
Send $5. Only Jesus can satisfy you.
Only Jesus can satisfy. The AI nailed the accent. What is going on here? Is this normal? This is... Dude, hit magic breath. This isn't the only thing he be blowing, if you catch my drift. Who got blown better, the altar boys, the choir boys, or the holy water got blown better? Poisoning the holy water? Yeah, I don't know if this is COVID accepted. Gonna get high on Jesus' holy water. These superstitious, delusional, kooky Christians and all their rituals and their fake Jewish magic. Amalek says this is what Fox News is basically 24/7 now, by the way. It's basically a church channel now. Dude, it's always been, man. The commercials, it runs commercials and it's all Christian Zionist commercials.
Were in office, they arrested Christians across
this is the Jewish Aryan Queen Justine Brooke Murray.
country. They put Christians
At the worst.
Yeah, dude, Fox News is always pushing Christianity. The Zionist Rupert Murdoch, always been ultra Zionist. Guys like Sean Hannity are their top anchors. Oh, but they're trying to destroy Christianity. There's nothing they fear more, but they all push it so hard. It's all the hosts now too, says Amalek. Let's hear it, Justine.
The worst thing that could happen to the left is losing my generation to God, because if you believe in God, you believe in a power higher than yourself, higher than government authority, and higher what the left has been selling to us. That we have to believe in materialism and we have to be all about ourselves. We have to be narcissists. We need material objects in order to succeed. So
worship the Jewish God or you're like a narcissist.
now we're filling that void. We're realizing we want to look upwards instead of inwards.
When the Dems were in office, they arrested Christians across this country.
Al's cool, thank you.
$5 When I think about inevitable end result of Christianity, I see myself as Tiger Paw from Apocalypto. As he retreats into the forest, he sees the Spanish ships arrive at the shores. Retreat back to tradition and watch the collective be captured forever.
Dude, it's so captured. The Abrahamic mind virus has captured over half of humanity. We're still in like the Judeo Dark Ages. The evolution denial, believing in Noah's Ark and Adam and Eve, and denying evolution, and NASA and space, and everything they're always doing. Promoting Jewish magic, reading Jewish scriptures, wanting everybody to worship the Jewish God, the Jewish Messiah, read the Jewish fairy tales.
They put Christians on the terror watch list, and they invited topless transgender drag queens to parade amongst the Oval Office. In Trump's Oval Office, with Republicans back in charge, we're seeing not only a Gen Z male revival across this country, we're realizing that God should fill that God-shaped hole in our heart, but it's being led by our leaders. President Trump is reading scripture from the Oval Office instead of attacking Christians across this country. This is a big relief. Gen Z men have been told that.
He's like, they make this guy in a Zionist lab, like, how can we make him like a good patriotic American? Okay. George Washington painting, check. Flags behind him, check. Photo with the president. Edom Eagle, check. Books, check.
We're the problem. We've been told that our masculinity is toxic and that we should ignore God. Having our creator at the center of it all is pretty cool to see from our leaders.
Telling the Jews they read their own book wrong is a failed strategy, says Amalek. Shmuley's daughter mogging Candace so hard. Let's see it. Oh, not Candace. Carrie Bowler. Let's see. Let's see how this goes. Shmuley's daughter, by the way, guys. That Rabbi Shmuley. He should just retire and leave it to his daughter.
The new Israel. There's someone else.
Spiritual right as God's chosen people. Whatever you say.
Who replaced us, like Carrie.
She's not the one that sells the dildos, guys.
I know it too. I know that they look at the Jewish people and
it's the other sister.
Everything about us is miraculous. You just can't deny it. We really.
Garrett said $5 guy on Fox's name was Brillin Hollyhan Gaoi.
He seems like it.
We are chosen. And we have to step into that. And if we don't know who we are and take our spot as the chosen nation and fulfill that role and understand what that is, what that means, then other people will tell us who we are instead.
Not where I thought she was going to go with that. She's just like, no, we're chosen. Hey, stop it, wannabe Jew. We're the real Jews. Is this the same one? Yeah, that's the one we just watched. Remember this clip? Rabbi Dyer says Jews do the same type of spiritual exegesis as Christianity. And that would be esoteric, mystical reading, interpretation, midrashic reading of a Merkava mysticism, proto-Kabbalah type of exegesis, midrash and pesher traditions. Jay is right, because Christianity was started by a sect of messianic, mystical, midrashic Jews.
As the Messiah. So in their view, most of the prophecies that are in the major and minor prophets have to be pretty much restricted to an immediate grammatical historical sense. But oddly enough, even in the messianic text that Jews accept, there's future predictions about what the Messiah will bring. So I would argue that they apply an inconsistent hermeneutic because they will spiritualize a lot of these texts to refer to God's enemies or the enemies of Israel, but yet they castigate like the Christian interpretation for, quote, spiritualizing or giving a Christological context when they do the very same thing. So the fourfold sense of exegesis, pardes, which is in the rabbinical tradition, the Christians do the same thing.
Christians do the same thing that Kabbalah Jews do. The pardes, the four types of interpretation of the Torah, the four levels of interpretation. Midrashic, sod, secrets, mysteries and secrets and midrashic connections. He's saying Jews do it, Christians do it, and he's right. And this is what my book is about, of course. Thank you for confirming, Rabbi Dyer. A mystical midrashic myth Christians were doing. Well, they were Jews doing Jewish exegesis, and that's where the Jesus myth originates from. And quick plug, Substack, the link's below. The link is in the description below. It's at KnowMoreNews. We already had on Sunday, 8 p.m., our first private paid subscriber Zoom call where we did chapter 1 and 2 of the Jesus Deception. And there was about 20 people there. We were talking, reading it, talking about it. It was a good time. We're going to do chapter 3 and 4. Go sign up over there. You can see it's archived as well. If you sign up, you can see the archive and get caught up. So I hope more of you join that. It was cool. I really want to build that up over on Substack. Substack seems to be legit. So
they will
sign up.
The same type of spiritual exegesis, but then they'll say, no, Christianity is false because of all the spiritual exegesis, which is false. But they do the same type of exegesis.
Well, I'm just kind of asking because this seems to be a pretty...
Yo, is that Primordial Chaos voice I hear? Nice. Primordial Chaos calls into the space or the show and gets him to admit quite the banger, quite the gem, actually. Quite the admittance.
That the church...
Like this one, he says, Orthodox Christianity is the true Judaism.
Actually, I think that the real Messianic Judaism is actually Orthodox Christianity.
So you're like a Jew if you don't want to follow Orthodox Christianity, the true Judaism, and worship the true King of the Jews? Like my super funny friend, Sam Hyde.
The purpose of this documentary is called Christian Worship in the Old Testament. Everything that the church...
Does your temple liturgy even do it just like the Jews? Do your fathers even dress up like the Pharisees? Professor Zhang on the real reason Jesus was crucified.
Actually killed Jesus. If you look at the historical evidence...
Doesn't get it at all. Doesn't know Jesus is a myth. Thinks everything is a conspiracy, but Jesus existing, apparently.
Why did they actually kill Jesus? If you look at the historical evidence, Jesus was probably crucified by the Romans because...
What evidence?
Was probably Jesus. If you look at the historical evidence...
What historical evidence? The Gospels? Josephus, which is late and after the Gospels? Paul's letters, the first writings don't say Pilate and the Romans killed him. That doesn't come till supposedly decades later. What up, Garrett?
Covers all things J related and is up to almost 100K. I think the second coming of Goyeshiach could do well if you keep your nose clean and the chat doesn't fed post. Also, Rathbone would be a good guest.
I think I've seen him on Twitter. Yeah, we're starting a new YouTube channel soon. New name, new YouTube channel, for sure.
Jesus was probably crucified by the Romans because, why would you make this up? He was probably crucified.
Why would you make it up? Why would you make up a crucified Messiah? Well, it got the world to believe in the Jewish Messiah and worship the God of Israel and abandon their pagan gods. That's why they would make it up. I don't know. Look at the Christians today, all worshiping the Jewish God, and now most of them in America supporting Israel. Maybe that's why they'd make it up. Why does anybody make anything up?
Because he was a threat to the status quo, meaning that he pissed off both the Roman authorities as well as the Jewish authorities. And I think that he was pissing everyone off because he was providing some truth that spoke to people.
Oh, see? So he's not a believer, but he's still shilling Jesus. He's shilling like a Gnostic conspiracy Jesus.
Intuitively, but which went against the natural order. And what was that truth? I personally believe
he was a truth teller. He was just like me. I'm like the Messiah of Jesus, just like a truth teller. I'm dangerous to the status quo, like Jesus.
He was a religious genius who had an intimate connection with the divine and who believed.
See, this is total spiritual Christ consciousness Gnostic Jesus shilling, of course.
Something along the lines of Gnosticism, Hermetic
there you
philosophy.
Go.
And the evidence for that is the Gospel of Thomas. And if you read the Gospel of Thomas, it's clearly a Gnostic worldview. We're all divine sparks, and we're here to experience the world for what it is, to sort of suffer into pain in order to seek enlightenment. Otherwise, we become slaves to the system. Otherwise, we're too focused on making money. This was a direct threat to the system because this would overturn the status quo. The Roman society is a very strict hierarchy.
Yeah, but it did. Jesus still did. So you're telling me they killed him, they corrupted his story, the religion spread, and it still disrupted the status quo and Judaized the nations. that doesn't make sense.
And to say that the person with all the money has no authority over me, the person with all the power has no authority over me because I'm a divine soul.
But they do, though.
Very upsetting.
They do have authority over you.
Jesus spent a lot of time with slaves and the oppressed. A slave is considered economic property. So if you tell a slave, hey man, you're a divine soul, you shouldn't be a slave, and the slaves either decides to quit or runs away.
No, they told you to be good slaves. He says, be a good slave, listen to your master, turn the other cheek.
That's economic damage. There were 3 people who were crucified, Jesus and 2 thieves. So he was considered basically a rebel.
Dude, it's not. That's because it said numbered with the transgressors. They added him with 2 thieves. All right, so Professor Jang fails the Jesus question. Imagine my shock. Fails the Jesus question. No, instead gives you some limited hangout, Jesus smuggling slop. Speaking of slop, here's some 1991. Ron Wyatt brought his ARC findings to CNN and was mocked on air. Oh, we're acting like he's vindicated now because some other Christian kook that's been dedicating his whole life to trying to prove the Ark has been found claims there's some underground images of some shit.
I bought your book a while ago. Once I finish reading Derek Brose's memoir, Who Is Where I Found You Out From, I'll deep dive into your book. BTW, I remember Jang said he wasn't religious in a past video. Dude is a total fraud actor.
But still wants to shill Jesus. Doesn't want to offend the Christians all the way. Yeah, Derek's cool. I've known Derek for years. He's cool. I appreciate him having me in his documentary series. In fact, we got to watch that still. Oh, we're not just going to do book club in the Substack. And hey, you should sign up for the Substack. You don't even have to get the book. So well, you should also, but get the Substack. We'll read it with us. Watch it there. We can talk about it. It's much better, much cooler. But I forgot what else going to say about that.
Did you find some animal remains as they were supposed to be on there 2 by 2?
We did. There's a large amount of what's called corpalites by geologists and archaeologists. These are animal droppings that have fossilized. We all found the fossil.
We found all their fossilized poop. Sure you did.
Antler. Now.
Yeah, and all the scientists in the studies are just covering it up, right?
Are associated with non-domesticated animals, and of course, this tells us that at least one undomesticated animal was on this boat at some point in time. Now we also.
Or how about there was just some animal that was on the mountain and pooped? More simple explanation.
Found something, and I guess if I have a favorite object, it's this. This is a rivet, and it's quite a sophisticated riveting system. It's a washer about approximately 3.5 inches in diameter with a shaft that's a little over 1 inch in diameter, and it's been struck while it's hot. And
this music is turning me into a believer.
Cannot slip back through this washer. Now there are thousands of these.
Yeshua was a Rasta. It's so stuck in my head.
Did you find some animal remains?
Oh, dude. We need a Noah's Ark song. All right. I hate this argument so much. Would they have died for a lie?
On in oil, hung Luke from an altar. They skinned Matthew alive, crucified Peter upside down, boiled John in oil.
This is all later bullshit legends. Fake persecution complex legends from much later to promote a martyrdom myth.
Hung Luke from an olive tree, dragged Mark through the streets by his neck till he died, beheaded Paul. All these men, they could have saved themselves.
Atrocity propaganda.
All they had to do was say it wasn't true, say what they wrote.
All they had to do was say it wasn't true. How do you know that? How do you know? We don't really know they were given the option, like, denounce that you saw Jesus or you die, and they go, kill me. That's how you know your religion is real, when people all get killed when they believe it. That makes sense.
What they preached and what they saw with their own eyes was a lie. The Romans would have let them go, but they couldn't deny God. They knew it was the truth. They watched their families fed to lions, burned alive in the Colosseum.
And at this point, assuming some of this was true, like it was Jews trying to subvert Rome, the authority of Rome, with a foreign cult, with Jewish messianism. An act of terrorist, insubordinate rebels trying to subvert Rome with Judaism, with the Judaism Noahidism for Gentiles.
Their wives, children, friends, all murdered because of what they were saying. If it wasn't the truth, they would.
Well, that's wrong. That's bad. You're not going to lie to save your kids from being fed to lions? Jesus is like, to spread the word of me. Why didn't Jesus just reappear to not just the disciples? They all had to die. If Jesus would have appeared to Pilate and the head of the Sanhedrin and the high priest and the top Pharisees that supposedly and he could have appeared to the emperor of Rome, and then all the people wouldn't have, all the families and children wouldn't have been fed to lions and killed. Oh, but they died, so take their word for it. Trust us. This is the best they got, which just tugs on people's emotional. Oh, martyrdom means it's real. Well, how many Jews have been martyred for their beliefs? How many Muslims have gone to martyrdom? How many Christians today that never even knew a historical Jesus or saw a resurrection, they would die and be martyred? How many is paganism real? Because a whole lot of pagans died as martyrs against Christians.
Wouldn't have done it, period. These men didn't die for a lie. They skinned Matthew alive.
Al's Rakul sent $5. Watch the Christians celebrate fossilized but seeth and cope when we find fossils of dinosaurs and giant shrimp. So sick of these low IQ fools all around us. Living around these type of people isn't gonna work in the long run. Set up failure.
No. Long past due.
Phaethan sent $5. I guess Jim Jones and his followers were right because they all died.
I guess so, yeah. Here, let's see. Nice clip here from Professor Candida Moss, who wrote The Myth of Persecution, about how this isn't even true.
I don't know if you saw recently, Wes Huff was on the Diary of the CEO. Have you come across that podcast before? Have you watched it?
I am familiar with it, but I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it.
So he was
Aryan Queen, Candida Moss,
talking about the truth claims surrounding Christianity, and he said that liars make poor martyrs, and he said the chances of dying for something you know is not true is far less likely. And what I find really interesting is apologists point to the martyrs, people willing to die for their faith, as evidence of Christianity's core claims to be true. And I guess my issue is people die for what they think is true all of the time, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is true. You know, we have, for example, death cults and things like that. Why is this argument often employed in it if the history is so dubious? Because do we actually know about how any of the apostles actually died? Because many apologists use it to argue for the truth claim surrounding Christianity. You hear it a lot, don't you? And I'm really intrigued to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I remember when I first heard this argument. I was in school, and my school religious studies teacher said, "Well, why would they have died for Christ
sent
if it wasn't?"
$5. Watch the Christians celebrate fossilized cow but seeth and cope when we find fossils of dinosaurs and giant shrimp. So sick of these low IQ fools all around us. Living around these type of people isn't gonna work in the long run. Set up failure.
Yeah, the dinosaur denial is a whole nother level of Christian kookery. That's what where the Bible brain has led us. Fallen angels, demons, dinosaurs are fake. Firmaments are real. Genesis is real, not evolution. It's just they get everything wrong, they ruin everything. Christians ruin everything. Abrahamists ruin everything. Judeo-Zog slaves are the reason that we can't have nice things.
If it wasn't true that he was resurrected from the dead. And that sounded like a really good argument to me because I was 14. And also...
Yeah, it's a good argument. It goes really hard if you're a child. If you're emotional, immature.
Because I didn't know about martyrdom in other religious traditions. So, just as you said, exactly as you said, off the bat, No, people die for lots of things and they can't all be true. What martyrdom is proof of is that the person dying almost certainly believes it. Although there are some examples where people can easily get swept up into a situation and die as a martyr without us really knowing if they believe it. But let's just grant that, like, they.
Yeah, what if they didn't really believe it, but they got busted spreading this subversive Jewish religion in Rome, and they broke some other law, and they got not persecuted, but prosecuted for some other crime associated with it, and they just lie and say he's a martyr.
Believe it. So that's what martyrdom is proof of. It's proof of the sincerity of their faith.
And people die for lies that they believe are true. Some schizo Jew that said he saw Jesus hidden in the scriptures, hidden, revealed through Bible code, and had some dream where he came and spoke to him. People really believe crazy shit like that. They would die for a lie that they think is true. But again, these martyrdom stories aren't even authentic historically.
It's not proof of the accuracy of their claims. The only exception.
Is this a wig?
Everyone got so upset with me.
Or her natural hair color? Or she just bleached blonde?
I really didn't think I was going to get the kind of backlash from Protestants that I got. I was like, why do you care? Don't you just have your Bible? But no, I thought I was going to get some Catholics like myself who, we're quite into our martyrs and saints. But I
did she just say she's a Catholic?
And I think it's because they think that if the apostles died as martyrs, it's proof that the resurrection happened. Yeah. Now, I do believe that the apostles believed that Jesus was resurrected from the dead. Again, they can believe it without it being true. That
Exactly. And if the original version were Messianic Jews, apocalyptic, midrashic, mystical Jews that believed that they conceived of this figure and that he did this magical thing in heaven, according to the scriptures, like Paul says, according to the scriptures, that he appeared to them to reveal this after he did this magical thing in heaven. Trans Sarah, stop. I don't think she's trans. You guys saying it's a man? She's not a man, dude. You need to get your transdar recalibrated.
And there were different sort of skeptical assessments of that. So Bart Ehrman argued that they were having some kind of mass hallucination.
No,
Others
dude,
visions are very common in antiquity.
She's a MILF, maybe a GILF. She's a GILF that looks like a MILF, maybe
It's
even.
very common to see people once they die. So if we were in the ancient world, if you came up to me and told me that you saw your dead mother, I would be like, oh yeah.
Yeah, how many people sincerely in the world and throughout time sincerely believe they've seen a ghost or had a dream and spoke to their dead so-and-so? It's a man, baby. No, I should play that one though.
I wouldn't be like, oh, I hope he's all right. But if you say that to me today, I'm concerned about your mental health. In antiquity, everyone believes you can see dead people once they come back to life.
It's a man, baby!
So their martyrdom might be proof that they believe it. But then there's the other question that you alluded to. What do we know about the deaths of these martyrs? The stories of the deaths of,
I'm completely joking, by the way. I do not think that it's trans at all. It's clearly a woman.
Say Peter, Paul, those, the big ticket apostles, those are from about 100 years later. And those traditions mushroomed. So probably if there's a martyrdom story of an apostle, leave Stephen, who's in the New Testament, out of things. Probably the martyrdom story people know is Peter. And the story they probably know is that Peter was escaped from prison.
Turtleneck doesn't help. Yeah.
Met Jesus.
Hiding the Adam's apple, huh?
On the road. $5. This is a basic question, but what do Christians argue when you ask how someone wrote God's Genesis story?
I'm sorry, what was that? What do I say when they say they believe in Genesis story? Hold on.
He said to Jesus, where are you going? Which, if you know as a quote, you might know it as Quo Vadis, which is almost certainly not the language he spoke. And Jesus says,
oh, when you ask Christians how someone wrote God's Genesis story, that was something that was a hang up for me as a kid. It's like God created the
Ban Officer Jesus King Lion. He is spam maxing.
Officer Jesus King Lion. Okay, is that on Rumble? I didn't see that. Or Odysee. I'll look for that.
So
What
I'm
was
going
that
back to
name?
Rome to be crucified. Peter feels ashamed, and so he turns back and he goes back to die in Rome. And then when he dies, he asks to be crucified upside down because he's not worthy of dying like his savior. That's probably the story you heard. Now that story, that's not even 100 years after the death of Peter. It's actually like 300 years.
Wow. You ask any Christian, like, what are you talking about persecution? They go, Peter was hung upside down, crucified upside down. That's from 300 years later. That's some bullshit atrocity porn, victimhood, martyrdom legend from hundreds of years later. Dude, all Christians do are lie. That's all they've ever done.
So that's when that story comes from. The earliest version of the death of Peter says that he asked to be crucified upside down because the values of the world had been inverted. He gives like a whole philosophical speech that is attributed to the sort of philosophical position of the heretical group, the Gnostics. So there's a group of people who are now in Christianity.
And that's funny. It comes from a Gnostic. That's a Gnostic tradition, which Christians today view as heretical and unreliable.
Considered to be heretics.
It is kind of a long clip, but it's gone by pretty quick. She says a lot. She's a good speaker.
Makes a speech articulating their worldview and ends up being crucified upside down.
I can listen to her all day.
This kind of like orthodox rewriting at the hands of Eusebius and probably lots of other people in between. And so the earliest source comes from a group of people that modern Christians don't even think are real Christians. And that early story, but even so, that story is like as long as 100 years after Peter died. And given how people write history in antiquity, they embellish stories, not because they're pathological liars, but because that's what you do. You want to turn the story.
They're pathological. Christians are pathological liars. Sorry, Candida. What kind of name is Candida, by the way? Isn't that like a fungus that health people are always talking about? Don't eat a lot of sugar. You'll get Candida. Don't eat gluten. It causes Candida. They named this. What kind of hippie parent named this girl a fungus? An intestinal fungus.
To make a particular educational rhetorical point. So putting this speech on the lips of Peter, that's a thing people do in antiquity. One famous historian says when he doesn't know what someone said, he writes what they should have said.
It's what liars do.
You think it's just continued to today and people haven't fact checked? Do you think
Oh, Candida is a flower too? Oh, my bad.
That's what's going on and why it's still often,
That's funny.
Often used to argue for the truth claim, certainly from Protestants.
There's definitely a lack of.
Oh yeah, it is.
I mean, even like St. Christopher of the medals. The Catholic Church has been very clear. St. Christopher, not a real human being who existed. Lovely story, not a person. You probably shouldn't be wearing St. Christopher medals. But people do wear St. Christopher medals.
Yeah.
And so there's, even in a situation like that, people aren't fact checking.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is crazy.
I like this guy's new channel. He's exposing some good stuff. I like it. Okay, we got the SPL story. We got Wilcock still to cover. Hour in. Some interesting stuff. We got some funny. Okay, let's see here. Okay. SPLC story. Yeah? Oh, we just got this? Oh, look at this. My wife just brought me this. It just came in the mail. That's crazy. Let's open it. What could it be? Feels a little heavy on one side. What's going on here? Just got a package? That's cool. I wonder what it is. Never opened any mail from you guys on show before, I don't think. Gonna get high in hyperbole. Oh my God. Is this a message from Odin? Are you kidding me? Dude, it's a Viking battle axe. Dude, I seriously, you guys aren't going to believe this. I put an axe, At the end of the show post today, I put an axe. Is this a... Have I literally been endorsed by Odin, the Allfather? What is going on here? Is this a sign from Odin?
Oh, great Odin's raven!
Dude, I guess Alex Jones isn't the only one getting miracles. This is crazy. I even started the show today with the Viking mix where there's the picture of me holding the axe. What? It's got a little leather case. Dude, this is amazing. This is going on my wall. This is fighting off intruders. But it's going on my wall to, when I redo my background. What? Oh man, it's sharp too. What? Dude, are you joking? Oh man. Dude. This is not cringe at all, guys, by the way.
And say, may the force be with you, and say no way to Yahweh. May the force be with you, and say no way to Yahweh.
They told me, they're like, what are you doing? Why did you not make a green one?
Follow no more news, read the Jesus Deception, and may the force be with you.
Dude, we have been blessed from a sign from God.
Deception, and may the force be with you. Follow no more news, read the Jesus Deception.
Is this a sign from God? Is this proof Odin is real?
Read the Jesus Deception, and may the force be with you.
Axe mogging.
Follow no...
Dude, are we axe mogging Alex Jones? Dude, leather handle. Got a little strap to hold it. Dude, this is going on the wall. Dude, I'm gonna have a new cool background. Dude, this is for chopping crosses? Name it? Oh, dude, it even has the Volk nut there. Out of focus. Dude, name it. I don't know. Wotan? Odin's axe? Savage cow. This is convinced. It is a sign from Odin. Channel the ancestors? Okay. You can feel it. Thousands of years. Chopping down trees and building boats and traveling oceans and fighting off enemies. This piece of wood and metal. It's cold too. To the wall. Reverse Boniface. Yeah, Boniface's Revenge. That's what we'll name it. Saint Boniface's Revenge. Wow, that is cool. Dude, Alex Jones ain't got nothing on Thor's axe. His eyes are blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua is a Rasta. Dude, thank you, Dane Law Dissidents, for this. Chuds are starting to realize how anti-Christian all their favorite red pill materials are. I hope so.
1976.
There we go.
$5 on Rumble. Glad you like it, bro.
Dude, Alex can't be getting Jesus axes and we don't have a No More News axe. Mission accomplished. Right next to the sword is where it's going. Okay. Right next to the sword. And I got this other cool thing too. Let me show it. The last thing somebody sent to me. Hold on. Oh. My new chair hasn't come yet. But I got a new chair coming too. Oh. I got this too. I got to hang this up. The Green Man. Dude, it looks just like me. So I got some cool stuff. I got the moon too. You guys notice the moon up there? Here's the new moon background too.
Sent $5 on Rumble. Showed up a bit late. I'll watch the replay to get the first hour.
Dude, well, we got to clip this because we just had a sign from God, the real God, our ancestral God. It's magic. How are Christians going to explain that coincidence? That's Odin for you. All right. Where were we? Dude, I literally put the axe on the show today and then received an axe. If that's not a sign from God, I don't know what is. Yeshua was a white man. What was the line? Pure Aryan DNA. All right, huge news. What everybody's always suspected, SPLC paying informants in all these extremist groups, I guess you can call them. Southern Poverty Law Center was indicted for paying sources to infiltrate hate groups, a tactic federal agencies have used for decades. Yeah, that's the part I'm wondering about. Is this illegal? It's because they hid the funding with shell companies. That's what makes it illegal. Anyway, let's see. U.S. charges anti-extremism group, SPLC, over payments to it. Is this really going to shut down SPLC? Or is this just going to be used by like the mainstream MAGA right against any like dissident group? Like already this is the way it is online. Everybody calls everybody feds. Everybody's suspicious. Everybody's a fed. So that's just going to go into hyperdrive. They named all these groups, but they're still sealed. The people are anonymous. SPLC has been indicted on 11 counts of wire and bank fraud related charges on Tuesday. The Justice Department announced accusing the organization of paying members of extremist groups as part of its efforts to investigate them. I'm sure everybody's covering this and talking about it. You guys are probably seeing it already, but I don't have too much special or extra to say on it. Justice Department indictment alleges between 2014 and 2023, the SPLC secretly funneled $3 million in donated funds to white supremacist and extremist groups as they were targeting those groups. $1 million to National Alliance affiliate, never heard of them. Aryan Nations, $300,000. Basically, probably the only thing keeping some of these influencers, I guess, or groups afloat. A member of Unite the Right, $270,000. Former National Alliance chairman, never heard of that one either, $140,000. Former KKK members, $73,000. American Front president and felon, $19,000. They funneled money to feds during the 2016 era to discredit, co-opt real white proven right activism. This is nothing new. SPLC hates white people. Remember when the Mark Potok from the SPLC did the documentary and he had on his wall on like a little piece of paper, it was like the white percentages of America like going down over the decades? All right, is this guy just disrupting everything and distracting? I've seen him seething. You never talk about Islam, dude. Is that just you're a Christian coping? Is that what it is? Dude, we've heard that one before. Nobody falls for it, dude. Clearly there's obvious reasons that we focus more on Christianity and Judaism. Ishmael is the same boat as Christianity, Christian-controlled op, believes in fake Jesus, all right? We've done this a million times. We've heard this cope a million times, all right? Stop coping, all right? You made your point. I addressed you. Oh, he doesn't talk about Islam. Yes, I do. I criticize it in my book. I put it in the same boat as Christianity. We don't have Muslims running our country. There's not, my people aren't all believing in Islam. It's Judaism 3.0. Might as well focus on 1.0 and 2.0, okay? Now he says I'm a Trader who promotes Nibiru. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. Nibiru. Big 10th planet Nibiru conspiracy theorist. You got me. Dude. Guys, has anybody in the chat ever seen me post or talk about Nibiru? the supposed like 10th dark planet or whatever?
The org William Pierce created.
Oh, really?
Wrote the Turner Diaries and was very anti-Christian.
Well, that funding would have been long after that, though. I didn't even know that group was Need More Nibiru. That's funny. Nibiru. Is that even still a thing? It's Apophis now. Apophis is the new conspiracy. I know. What the fuck? Nibiru. That's so funny. That's good. That's good. Okay, here's the clip.
Is to announce
Kash Patel announcing it.
We're here today.
Yeah, guess who ain't on the list? Me.
We're here today is to announce
Or any list.
what the general just told you. The Southern Poverty Law Center,
Sites.
in a massive, sweeping indictment, has been charged with allegations of fraud and using
Liam
the banking.
Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. When Adam went Nibiru was where I checked out.
Dude, he overdosed on. Are you Nibiru pilled, dude? Nibiru to take. Are the Anunnaki and fallen angels coming on Nibiru, bro? Planet X? Yeah, that's right. Planet X. Dude, you're such a Planet X disinfo shill. Like, bro, I haven't even thought about Planet X for like 20 years since I first heard some YouTube video about it, probably.
To perpetrate that fraud. I just want to talk about a couple brief things here. The Southern Poverty Law Center.
Here's your Nibiru, bitch.
To raise money to dismantle violent extremist groups for a period of at least a decade. They used their donor network to raise money to purportedly dismantle violent extremist groups. However, the SPLC, the Southern Poverty Law Center, used the money they raised from their donor network to actually pay the leadership of these very groups. I just want to say that again.
Yeah, if they're paying the leadership, that's not like infiltrating. That's leading the leadership to have them do Fed ops so that you can highlight them and SPLC can raise money. Their donations went through the roof after Charlottesville and, the Trump post-Charlottesville stuff. And justify censorship of so many others. I remember SPLC has attacked me before when I debated Owen Schroyer. Not much. It was more of an attack on Owen Schroyer that I got him to concede to any type of Zionist influence. And the SPLC, I remember, did an article attacking Odysee where they talked about me being one of the top get donations on that site. Eventually, Stripe got pulled from Odysee, and I lost my main source of income. Dude, I hope at least SPLC gets shut down after this, or loses all credibility. At a minimum.
They used the fraudulently raised money by lying to their donor network, thousands of Americans, to go ahead and actually pay the leadership of these supposed...
ADL probably does this shit too, or any other number of institutions, or even just... there could be private billionaires just lone wolfing, thinking that this... or loosely affiliated with Mossad that are just funding... It doesn't take much. You take some poor person, it does not take much to get them to do what they want and buy them off.
SPLC was already tanking too because it got taken over by Arab anti-Zionists.
Oh, really? Oh, they're hanging it out to dry because it got co-opted back or something? Let's see.
The groups, as the general laid out, include the Ku Klux Klan, the United Klans of America, Unite to Right.
Unite the Right, bruh.
National Alliance, the National Socialist Movement, the Aryan Nation Motorcycle Club, and the National Socialist Party of America, and also the American Front. In at least one of these matters, our investigation revealed that funds were used to facilitate the commission of further state and federal offenses, totaling over $3 million.
And they try to hide it?
Revealed that the Southern Poverty Law Center, on top of perpetuating this widespread, decade-long, multi-million-dollar fraud, conducted more criminal activity. They attempted to hide their criminal activity from our financial banking network. They set up shell companies and entities around
a mob, like an intelligence operation.
That the financial institutions that we rely on as everyday Americans were deceived in believing that money was not coming from the Southern Poverty Law Center in the perpetration of this scheme and fraud, but rather fictitious entities they stood up to perpetuate this ongoing fraud. This is a serious and egregious violation of a group that purported to dismantle violent extremist groups, but in turn actually only fueled the hatred. This is an important case brought by President Trump.
Yeah, so he's saying it wasn't just a lot of them were infiltrating and informants, I guess just, you know, spilling secrets to the SPLC. Did you guys notice, by the way, in this, how I have the two wolf robots behind me? How cool is that wolf robot?
On Rumble. Turns out this Vegeta's drunk, high on coke and just out here hating whites.
And may the force be with you.
Is that what it is? He's drunk?
Administration.
Oh yeah,
thankful for the president
he's pounding champagne with the hockey team, right? Is that what you're referring to?
Funding of not just the FBI and DOJ, but his commitment to go out there and wipe out fraud and conspiracy and waste and abuse wherever it occurs, including the Southern Poverty Law Center. Even though this money was made to appear to be coming from...
Remember, it was news we covered, I don't know, a year ago, that they like stopped using the SPLC. They canceled programs that the FBI had with the SPLC. That's probably because they were learning this type of stuff in their investigation. Look at this too. I saw this in the chat real quick. IDF battles against religious takeover. Israelis with a messianic and ultra-nationalist ideology are populating the military and increasing numbers. This is why I hate the secular state of Israel and they're not real Jews and it's not a religious problem and blah, all that cope. And of course we see headlines like that.
From legitimate people and legitimate entities, we at the FBI, with our great partners at the Department of Justice and in the state of Alabama, were able to comb through a decade worth of material, a scheme that took a decade to build, so that we were able to follow the money. Because money never lies.
I wonder what the SPLC has. I wonder if they've made a statement in response to this.
As the Attorney General said,
what they're going to say.
These charges are varying. They are widespread and wide-ranging. And this investigation is very much ongoing. Today, we're here to announce the charges of the Southern Poverty Law Center. And this investigation and the individuals who are responsible will be brought to justice. Thank you, General.
Dude, arrest the SPLC. That would be sick. Here's, what is this? Todd Blanche?
Was paying the... I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that
Yeshua was a Rasta.
Paying the leaders of KKK and other groups to continue their operations? Is that...
I'm not alleging it. The grand jury returned an indictment that says that. And so what the investigation found, according to the indictment that was returned today, is that...
Dude, did you guys even know there was a KKK still? I had no clue. You're telling me there's a leader of the KKK today?
They were paying.
Dude, where have they been?
Is raising money, asking folks to give them money to dismantle racism. And over a very long period of time, they were using some of the money they raised from donors to pay to, they called them field, basically to informants, for information, for access, to just pay them for certain to do certain things, and so yes, that's exactly.
I haven't even heard like the left saying like the KKK is doing this and that. Like, it's weird. If the SPLC was paying the KKK to be in existence, like where are they? How come they're not always highlighting them on the media to like fearmonger?
I just want to make sure I understand. You're alleging that.
Okay, let's see here. A little more from Fox News.
In the Charlottesville. What about Charlottesville? In the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally. Were they involved in that?
Yes.
Clayton Bigsby runs it? That's funny.
Unite the Right rally. Were they involved in that?
Yes. So what we allege in the indictment and what the grand jury found is that one of the individuals that they paid was one of the folks who helped organize that terrible event. And so so imagine what we're talking about, Laura. We're talking about an organization that actively came out and just screamed it from the top of their lungs.
So just so people understand watching this, did these informants in some cases, given the evidence you've seen, actually initiate what would ultimately be these activities? And obviously Charlottesville ended with a tragedy.
Well, we know that they were part of those. They were part of it. Whether they were the leaders or the initiators, that'll come out, I think, eventually. But what we do know is that the very entities that this.
So you've been investigating. You got them charged, but you don't know if they were actually the leaders or not. Because if they weren't the leaders, and there was lots of people probably involved.
NAACP and the SPLU spend money for Antifa, really?
Yeah, so they're backing Antifa but I don't buy this. You got one guy at Charlottesville, so you can't just say the whole thing is like an SPLC op. And we're going to see here in a second, everybody's speculating on who this one sealed name is involved with this. Anybody that's known that was involved with Charlottesville is basically getting blamed for it. We'll go over some of those. And already everybody's been suspicious that anybody involved with that is a Fed. Everybody Fed jackets everybody, everywhere. Both sides. Everybody on Fox News is a Fed. Everybody, Patriot Front, Unite the Right, everything. Everywhere. Nobody trusts anybody. Everybody's suspicious.
Raising money to go against are the very entities that they were taking the money in and paying to these entities and these individuals associated with those groups.
What was the money used for?
Well, we don't know, because again, all we know is that they set up these fictitious bank accounts.
Fake names, like the Constitution Group or whatever it was called. Then they had one called Fox Photography.
Right, completely fictitious as far as the investigation has shown, and they were using it simply to funnel money to these individuals. The indictment talks about a situation
that's
where
mob stuff.
An individual to steal documents from the organization and then return the documents, and then somebody else took the hit for it. They paid that person too. To take the hit for that. And so
funneled funds through fictitious entities. Fox Photography, Northwest Technologies, Tech Writers Group, Rare Books Warehouse. What does Lana say? No, they didn't fund or organize it. They paid their guys, including Antifas and KKK LARPy types, to show up and get into a confrontation. Feds were all over this too. They were crazy about stopping authentic white activism. This was the early days of talking about white replacement. Okay, we did. Oh, Elon shared it. Total scam. So here's one of them. F42 was the former chairman of National Alliance. The SPLC website contained an extremist file page about this F42, from which the SPLC solicited donations. But they secretly paid him $140,000. That's so scandalous. They paid some dude $140,000 while featuring him on their extremist page to fundraise. That is the shtick. That is the shtick. Incredible. I hope they get all the why are the names even sealed? Don't we deserve, is this going to be disclosed at some point? Don't we deserve to know who the SPLC feds are? Or do they not want to ever unmask them so that everybody's paranoid and just everybody blames everybody, accuses everybody of being paid by SPLC? Like here's one, this 8,000 likes. It says, the SPLC paid the leader of American Nazi Party, a former KKK member, and an Aryan $70,000 while listing him as an extremist on their own website. Paul Mullet. Dude, this guy's name is so... Is there more of a trailer trash, white trash name than Mullet? The dude's... Is this his SPLC fake name? They're like, what's a white trashy, white supremacist KKK name? Call him Mullet. Should we give him a mullet? No, just call him Mullet. Is that a Christian cross there? So SPLC promoting the Christian Nazi. If this is allegedly, I'm not sure if this really is the dude. Although it certainly looks like it.
Liam Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble.
He looks friendly.
Everyone might be a Fed. Feels like a knob.
I mean, even without this happening, everybody's just thinks everybody's feds. So here's the Unite the Right one. F37, member of the online leadership chat group, which planned the 2017 Unite the Right event in Charlottesville. How many people were in this chat group? Virginia and attended the event at the direction of the SPLC. He made racist postings under the supervision of SPLC and helped coordinate transportation to the event for several attendees. What does that mean? He drove between 2015 and 2023, SPLC secretly paid more than $270,000, but that's over 8 years. What does that come out to? 30-something thousand a year? Not much money to sell out and be a SPLC shill. I saw people in the replies here were trying to blame Spencer. And Dave Riley, who I believe was no fan of Spencer, he leaked the audio recording of him, but even he says that Spencer was legally adjudicated in Sines versus Kessler to not have been a participant in the leadership chat that organized the event. But he still was sued for it, but he wasn't in the leadership chat, so I guess that rules out Spencer in his mind. And literally every influential known podcaster or anybody that's associated with Charlottesville is being blamed by somebody. I'm seeing so many names. I'm not even going to list them all. I don't know who it is. I have no clue. I had nothing to do with any of those people at the time or any of that. Before I start speculating on who I think it'd be, I'm just going to wait a little bit and see if it comes out or if anybody proves it, but I've got no real clue, so I don't know. But it's kind of funny watching everybody speculate. All right, Officer Jesus, if you're just going to be attacking everybody in the chat, you're banned forever. We gave you your chance. Patrick Casey says, anyone care to place bets on which alt-right quote-unquote leader was an informant who received $270,000? I'm seeing some people say it's Fuentes, too. I find that a little unlikely, but a lot of people, he's a big target, so a lot of people, and a lot of people don't like him, so a lot of people are criticizing him. Just whoever, there's got to be somebody that everybody has a problem with everybody. So anybody that you don't like that had anything to do with Charlottesville, they'll blame that person. Probably.
Moose6 Gorillion sent $5 on Rumble.
Yeah, I don't believe
Spencer did indeed collude with the SPLC.
I haven't seen him. I've heard the claim. I've heard the claim, which he denied. And if true, that's bad, but I haven't seen the proof of that. And I've seen that guy say bogus stuff about me too, so I don't really think he's credible. In fact, maybe he was the one that got off the lawsuit that I think had to do with SPLC, right? So if anything, that looks a little sus. But I'm not, like I said, I'm not accusing anybody. I have no idea. I'm hoping it comes out. We deserve to know. Yeah, if he lies about me, why would I believe him about anybody else? Oh, yeah. 6,000 likes. I just said the same thing. Helped coordinate transportation is probably not how anyone would describe the bigger personalities. Probably a relative nobody, but still interesting. That's kind of what I read. They asked him point blank, Blanche. They're like, was he one of the organizers? And he's like, well, we'll determine that in the investigation. That kind of sounded like a no. Yeah, anybody that had anything to do with it is being accused by somebody. So, look, Andy NGO is blaming Spencer. Former SPLC spokesman Antifa Michael Hayden later defended Spencer and accidentally suggested a few years ago that he knew much more about him than he was willing to say publicly. Michael Hayden. I think this guy blocked me. Yep. That's right. Blocked by that dude at the SPLC.
Liam Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. Is Spencer making us gay? Cause I kinda like him.
No. I feel like it's just a bunch of incel seethers that say that. Dude, an SPLC saying he knows about Richard, that just means like he's investigated him to oppose them. It doesn't mean he knows more. That's such a loose thing from Andy NGO. I wonder if Spencer responded to that. I think Spencer put out a statement about it. Let me look that up. People are blaming Kessler too. He was like, as far as I know, he was the biggest organizer, but the indictment doesn't sound like it was the top organizer. They would have said that. That would have been a big W for the investigation against SPLC and Charlottesville. Here's him and Gavin right after.
I'm suspicious of you coming to Proud Boys meetings, saying you're not alt-right, telling me you're not alt-right, and I think you were there to try to recruit guys.
I never said I wasn't.
But his problem is he's trying to steal people from Proud Boys. He's trying to influence Proud Boys guys.
You did say exactly that to me on the phone. You told me you're not alt-right.
I have my own opinions, which are neither orthodox for alt-right or alt-light or anything else. I consider myself a...
Yeah, what does that even mean? Anybody that's not just like a MEGA shill is alt-right? Anybody that like isn't scared to criticize Israel and Jews is alt-right, or is not anti-white, you're alt-right?
But you could call me alt-right in the sense that I am an identitarian because I think that it's necessary.
I'm suspicious of you coming to Proud Boys meetings, saying you're not alt-right.
Wow. Dave, looks like Dave had on Spencer Gavin McGinnis today about the SPLC indicted DOJ. I got to see some of that, I guess.
Telling me you're not alt-right, and I think you were there to try to recruit guys.
Dude, that's all you're mad about? He's trying to steal people from your club, recruit people from your club? This is crazy, though. This is also important context, is Biden's, the whole reason he gave for Biden running in 2020 was because supposedly he was so disturbed by Charlottesville.
Jutsu sent $5 on Rumble. Emo, this story is a psyop to discredit the alt-right because MAGA is flailing around losing a large portion of its base.
Well, that's whether that's the intent or not, that's going to be the outcome. Already you're seeing it. Anything that's not just like Trump, Ziocon, kosher right is going to be considered SPLC leftist funded. That's definitely how it'll be used.
I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw in Charlottesville in August of 2017. Extremists coming out of the woods, carrying torches, their veins bulging.
Veins bulging.
Carrying Nazi swastikas.
I don't think a leftist protester's veins ever bulged.
And chanting the same exact anti-Semitic bile that was heard in Germany in the early 30s. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, the Ku Klux Klan, so emboldened by a president then in the White House that they saw as an ally. I ran for president in 2020 because of what I saw.
And then how they did the Trump's good people on both sides psyop forever, when he clearly said there were some bad people there, but not everybody was bad.
I made the decision to run for president. I made the decision.
Did he know? Did he know SPLC was funding some of these groups? I don't know how many of the groups in the indictment were at Unite the Right, or if it was only that one dude connected to it.
I made the decision to run for president.
It was a shit show. You have an event, any Joe Schmo can show up and do anything, and then everybody gets, painted with a broad brush. All it takes is one idiot that shows up there. You can't make them leave. It's public property or something.
Boomer bucks Adam.
Thank you, Dinsdale. Are we at the goal? Oh, we're coming close on the goal. We're hitting the goal today. I'm confident. We got a blessing from Odin, and we're hitting the goal. Of course. Oh, I feel so strong when I hold this thing. I will protect my
Optics
family.
Prime sent $5 on Rumble. I remember that one unidentified protester with a brand new creased
Yeah.
flag. Very sus.
Yeah, I remember that too. There was some dude, swastika flag.
$5 on Rumble. There were like 100x more Antifa than rights. And untie the right.
Yeah, dude, the things seem like an op. They're trying to take down the statue. They knew that there would be protests and demonstrations, and then like the police set up the clash between Antifa and them so that they can scapegoat one side, and then they've been using it as an op ever since.
I made the decision to run for president after Charlottesville. Close your eyes and remember what you saw. Neo-Nazis, white supremacists, and the KKK coming out of the fields with torches lighted.
And haven't heard from him or seen the KKK since, huh? Dude, what are dudes? There were dudes there with KKK hoods.
Veins bulging.
Ragnar's revenge.
Anti-Semitic bile heard across Europe in the 30s.
Same exact talking point.
In the open, in America. Hate never goes away. It only hides. And when it's given oxygen, when it's given an opportunity to spread, when it's treated as normal and acceptable behavior, we've opened a door in this country that we must move quickly to close. As president, that's just what I will do. I will send a clear, unequivocal message to the entire nation. There is
Nobody will protest our removal of all the white historical statues.
no place for hate in America.
But unless it's hate for Robert E. Lee and wanting to burn down his statue, then it's okay. Isn't this the dude that was like, all these Democrats were cool with that guy Byrd, that Senator Byrd who was in the KKK too? They're total hypocrites. Gonna get high.
Liam Jarrett sent $5 on Rumble. There is a theme about white people Esau getting scapegoated for Yacub's sins.
Trey.
Rexor sent $20 on Rumble. You will not replace us.
Yeah, they always acted like that was the craziest thing ever. Like, oh, it's the most evil thing to not want to be replaced. Not want to be deliberately replaced by SPLC, who's got the decrease in white percentage in America on his wall. Like, any people would not want to be demographically replaced by people deliberately, intentionally doing it that hate you. That's the most evil thing in the world, to not want to be replaced in your countries. Demographic replacement. Here's Spencer's statement on F-37. I won't do a Spencer. I'm tempted to try to do an impression, but it would probably be bad. But overall, the DOJ's indictment against the SPLC is a good thing. The SPLC is a fading organization anyway, but I simply want to know the truth to unmask bad actors. Exactly. And this affects our understanding of Charlottesville as a historical event. But it's worth mentioning a few things. Kash Patel is such a clownish figure that it's difficult to take anything he signs off on seriously. The exposure of a paid informant in the alt-right will quickly allow conservatives to claim that everything they don't like is a hoax, scam, SPLC front, etc. They did this with January 6th, in which they treated participants as victims of Antifa or Fed plotters, never holding Trump responsible. If the allegations are true, there might be a self-fulfilling prophecy quality to the SPLC. They fund the racists that they report on, but the indictment is over an informant, one that might have helped out logistically. This should be kept in perspective. Everybody's making their guesses. I've got some of my suspicions, but not any strong ones, so I'm just going to keep it to myself and wait. I'm sure nobody would grant me the benefit of the doubt on anything. I'm sure if I had anything to do with that, all my enemies would be immediately trying to blame me, you know. I don't get that. My haters and detractors and seethers never give me that type of charitable defense. SPLC revenue before Charlottesville, 51,000. After Charlottesville, 133,000. Well, there's your profit motive, your profit incentive.
Veins bulging.
Oh, hold on. I want to watch the rest of that. Although it looks like we saw some already. His eyes were blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta.
Man out of the fields with lighted torches. You remember what the president said when asked? And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. Their veins bulging. He said specifically that he was condemning them. No, he did not. He said he walked out and he said, let's get this straight. The veins bulging on their
veins bulging.
Remember, just close your eyes and picture what it was. Their veins bulging.
Veingate. They're like, we what's it called? Market researched. What's it called when they have people in a room and they show them something and they try to study their reaction to it?
Veins bulging. Nazi sympathizers carrying Nazi fags.
Nazi fags.
Veins bulging. Their veins bulging. Veins bulging. Veins bulging. How are you, baby? How old are you? Their veins bulging. Just their veins bulging. Bulging. Veins. Well, I'm sick of
Focus group. Yeah, they focus grouped it. They beta tested it. People really freaked out over bulging veins.
$5 on Rumble. Dono for Odin's chosen.
Thank you. He's like,
I'm tired of smart guys. Their veins they're bulgy.
That's what she said.
Veins bulging.
I meant dick veins.
Their veins bulging.
Veins bulging is white power. That's funny. Bulging.
Bulging. Fewer. Have you ever heard this president say one negative thing about white supremacists?
About the bulging veins.
Have you ever heard it? Racism is evil. Damn it. And those who cause violence in its name are criminals and thugs, including the KKK, neo-Nazis, white supremacists.
He really did disavow all of it. He did his total due diligence disclaimer, and they lied for years and years and years, and then it turns out they're like funding some of these things.
And other hate groups that are repugnant.
That bulging, veiny, just thick MAGA cock. All those thick, veiny, bulging MAGA cocks saying Jews will not replace us. It was terrible.
Everything we hold dear as America.
Who's this Rex Sauce seether? What's with all the seethers today? Seethe.
Dark displays of racism exploding into a dead. It was a weekend of street battles and stark displays of
2017
exploding into a deadly act of domestic terror.
Al-Ratul sent $5. As much as I dislike MAGA, at least Trump has some qualities. Joe Biden is some nobody they plucked out as some safe NPC to throw out there as a filler president. Joe Biden stands for nothing, a blank slate just like your average Christian.
I mean, Biden used to be a good politician, though. He just got real old and slowed down, losing his mind.
World-famous rapper, fashion icon and billionaire Kanye West speaking. Him enjoying Anglo-Mogger Adam Green live yet again.
Thank you, GoldenEye.
Here's a few shekels to help you reach your goals. P.S. Take it easy on my beautiful black queen Candace Owens.
Are you kidding me? No. We're not Candace respecters over here. Frost Giant? Yeah, I'm basically a Yeti Frost Giant.
Blubwub sent $5 on Rumble. Bulging veins intimidate him and his kind. All the more reason to go to the gym.
Dude, all this bulging vein talk makes me want to get on steroids so I can have some bulging veins. Could I get my vein? Is that a vein or just like a...
The Golden Eye sent $5. Ayo, this is world-famous rapper, fashion icon and billionaire Kanye West speaking.
Okay, we heard that. Doesn't sound like Kanye.
Again. Here's a few shekels to help you reach your goals. P.S.
All right, thank you. I don't know why that came in twice. Jocelyn, you're late. We're talking about bulging, veiny,
A battle of the bulging
white supremacist. What did Amalek say? Bulging veins is the Ubermensch. Bulging veins of the white Aryan Ubermensch race of Superman.
Tonight, we examine the hateful groups that now appear to be banding together. Why are they now emerging from the shadows, emboldened and growing in numbers?
Hate no longer hides behind hoods. This was the scene in the liberal college town of Charlottesville, Virginia on Friday.
And I've heard them explain this before. The famous Jews will not replace us. They say the actual chant was "You will not replace us," and a couple of the riffraff started saying "Jew." They would have still kvetched if it was "You will not replace us." They'd be like, "Who's you? We know who you is supposed to be," but still.
Of images from a dark American past.
So this is a racist rally and we should name it as such. I'm less interested actually in the rally and more interested in how this rally functions.
I could see from my office here in New York City how this was building. This was not just predictable, but predicted.
Well, the most striking thing is how well organized
The Golden Eye
it was.
sent
There's people
$5.
doing
Ayo,
crowd.
this is world-famous rapper, fashion icon and billionaire.
Bro, why does that keep coming through?
Image.
I hope that's all multiple donations. Oh, dude, our white Aryan queen. Why? Well, somebody needs to save this girl. Could have been Richard Spencer. Look, she got her Elsa braid.
Big Mama 14 sent $20 on Rumble.
Dude.
Smash the goal. Adam, I like you relaxed on a beer. Less angry, winking face emoji.
Yeah, I did have an Irish red tonight. Almost done with it, but it was coffee before that, so we're caffeine alcohol maxing. What's this girl's name? I always forget, but somebody could have saved her. She was like the alt-right. People think Richard Spencer might have smashed.
Locations.
Maybe it is Spencer. He just fell for this. Got one look at this girl and he's like, "Tell the SPLC I'll do anything you want. For you and the SPLC I'll do anything." For those luscious
C thing is true. I knew about this years ago. Jews created the KKK. Thanks for unblocking me on X.
I heard Alex Jones say the other day that Albert Pike the Freemason created the KKK. I heard that and I was like, is that true? Because like whenever I hear Alex Jones say something, I just assume it's wrong. I forgot to check that.
I think that this is a new generation of racists who, as Carol and Leonard both
This guy disappeared.
Were in large part created by Donald Trump and others like Donald Trump.
He was always like the Down syndrome Timu Star Wars. Who's the guy that wrote Star Wars? George Lucas. Timu George Lucas. George Lucas's autistic
others like Donald
little brother. It's always who
It
he
was a
reminded
weekend
me
of street battles and stark displays.
All right, let's do David Wilcock has passed away. I never liked this guy. I always thought he was a crazy kook. And apparently he has committed suicide, shooting himself in front of the police after he called 911. He had like he was on Ancient Aliens. He was a real big like UFO conspiracy dude. Seemed like a little weirdo.
No, it was last.
But let's see. This is his. Is this his last video?
I've had a really rough week. Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that. Because frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary. I got to say, it's a little bit scary. But you guys knew that I might still show up even though it was last minute and I've had a really rough week. Like, you know, that's kind of like every week. But somehow we keep on making it through all of this. every day.
Sounds like somebody that's a little suicidal to me. People are saying, oh, he's silenced and he didn't commit suicide and stuff. Doesn't sound too good to me, to be honest.
Like, you know, that's kind of like every week, up, even though it was last minute and I've had a really rough week. Like, you know, that's kind of like every week, but somehow we keep on making it through all of this.
No, Amalek, I haven't really covered the missing scientist story. I did see that Trump got asked about it, though. Why would he kill himself just before the fake alien invasion slap? I saw somebody that knew him say he was maybe having financial problems, having marriage, divorce issues. The news or the police said that the 9/11 dispatcher, they say he called 911, they showed up, and then he shot himself. He had like 500,000 followers. The initial police report is sketchy. Deputies arrived at approximately 11:02 a.m. and made contact with a male outside a residence who was holding a weapon. Within minutes of deputies' arrival, he used the weapon on himself. He was pronounced deceased at the scene. Okay, let's watch a little bit of his stuff. Is anybody a fan of this guy? I'll only lose a little. I'll be nice and only lose a little bit of respect for you, but is anybody a fan of this guy?
And a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that. Every day that I have on earth is a...
He started to look really weird as he got older, too, like he was on drugs or...
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that because, frankly, people are disappearing. Scientists are going missing. Now they're saying they're going to investigate this. The president himself is saying they're going to look into this and see if anything's going on. It's a little bit scary, I got to say. Every day that I have on earth is a gift. And
here's one of his last tweets, too. Or wait, 3 days ago? 3 days ago, he said, this sounds like a suicide message, honestly. He says, my dear family. Already, that does not sound like a suicide message. I am not yet sure if I am doing a show tomorrow. I've had some very intense stuff going on this weekend. Either way, I want you all to know how much I love and appreciate you. People are also saying he staged it and this is an op and he's faking it, of course. Yeah, he was a total disinfo. He was on Gaia TV and Ancient Aliens pushing complete goy slop conspiracies. He was working with that kook that got busted for lying, Corey Good, about all this kooky alien shit. He's had some very intense stuff going on this weekend. Either way, I want you all to know how much I love and appreciate you. Always remember that the Creator is within and we live in a loving universe. I am very grateful to you for all of your love, care, and support. Thank you to all of my donors and regular loyal supporters. All these names. See, top comment I see. He isn't dead. Of course. Died at the over 500,000 subscribers on YouTube. Died at the age of 53. If you really want some crazy conspiracies, go check his last upload, the replies, the comments. He took his own life outside of the... authorities say he may have been in the middle of a mental health crisis. This is just one day before he died. He signed off on the live stream like this.
I honestly think commercials are time to hit. All right.
Oh, dude, without the chair, my back is like seizing up and... Oh, dude, I hope the chair's here. I got to put the chair together for tomorrow.
Guys, we're good.
Yeah, Jocelyn, I covered the SPLC stuff, but like, you know...
That was our little quick...
The best coverage over anybody that ever covered it in the world.
Global Peace Meditation. I'll read a couple of your comments here. We're getting very close to the end here, so we don't have hardly any time. I honestly think commercials are time to hit so we don't get the same kind of down. Well, yeah, you can hit the...
Estimated net worth $1.5 million. Yeah, I figured he was loaded.
This guy is a fraud. You know someone who isn't? Hervé Risson. I can send you a copy digitally if you want, but the two books are The Jewish Mafia and The Mirror of Judaism. It's all staged. The whole 12 scientist death thing is .unblock on Rumble Plaza.
the scientist thing is bullshit. Honestly, I'm at the point where any conspiracy story I see online, I just assume is nonsense, pretty much. That's the point I'm getting. That's how bad everything's gotten. Unblock you on Rumble. You got to send me an email with the link to your Rumble account so I can find it and then try to unblock it. All right?
Hit the skip button. But again, somebody says that has a great frequency, and so it is. Amen. Kiko says, nice to see you in a good mood today, David. It lifts our spirits. Meditation, vibing together, shines so bright. Great show yet again. Much love to us all. Thank you very much, Kiko. Eden Hollander says, thank you, David. Walking Tree says, arigato. Midnight Mark, great meditation, great show. Love you, brother. Glad I got done early and could catch most of it. You can come in and get the rest later. Saving the best for last. The end won't be for everyone. I think it's possible that he was sacrificing his reputation for the sake of the plan, just like Batman in the movie The Dark Knight. Thank you so much, David, for your time, effort, energy. Ghost of Adi, you are now cleared for liftoff. Appreciate that very much. Awesome show, David. Keep the light flowing and keep the faith. Sofa King, that was beautiful. Thank you for another great show, says Vicky Cornwall. Venus Renata, so
Okay, this is awful.
it is. Amen.
Where's the good part?
And scene. The typical lead out here, and A-N-D, not E-N-D, and scene. There we go.
And scene.
All right, you guys. Thank you so much.
From his last video, 2 days before his death.
Every day that I have on earth is a gift and a blessing.
Oh, we saw
Through
that.
all of this.
12,000 likes. Okay, here's his video. Let's go look at the replies on his video. The top comments. That should be some entertaining content.
Today, I'm introducing my mom to Roadrunner Sport.
All right, David, wait a minute.
Where's that coming from?
Wait a frickin' minute. You mean to tell...
Okay, hold on.
Gallemore sent $5 of already many emails. My name is Gallemore anywhere you see me. You and I have...
Oh, you're the guy from Gnostic.
Performance channel. Look on your Rumble channel and search my name. I like to share my research. This is all I do. Ex-Air Force AT, sir.
Well, if you want to share, you should do a video on do a TikTok video or something and send me the link. Okay, let's see some of these. Who else is here after learning what happened? He didn't do it. That's the #1 reply. David literally said on video multiple times that he is not suicidal. Someone needs to download all this stuff before they erase it forever. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Very suspicious that this makes 12 UFO experts have died or missing. I thought it was like nuclear scientists or like anti-gravity scientists. I didn't know it was UFO experts. He would never do that. Justice for David, please. David taught about the karmic consequences of suicide. He didn't kill himself. Oh, nobody's ever been a hypocrite before? He was not suicidal. I want justice for David. So heartbroken. Rest in peace. You inspired a whole generation to look up at the stars and know that they are not alone. Woke me up. Will forever be grateful. Okay, those are the top comments. I know you never commit suicide. Justice for David. Dude, it's going to become a legend now where everybody's going to speculate that he was killed by the government or faked his death. He will live in infamy. He was big into the book of Enoch. Oh, dude, did the fallen angels take him out? He was exposing the book of Enoch and the fallen angels. So they took him out? That'll be the theory.
Hear about the Illuminati if you watch the movie.
Oh, yeah, there probably is going to be a body cam. You're right.
While on the topic of science, none of these paleontology content creators, like Dre the Explainer, will ever fully go all the way with ripping apart Christianity. They supposedly hate it, yet they still make videos on Jesus. The left are just as duped.
I never heard of him. I don't know who that is. Why would a paleontologist be focusing on Jesus anyway, though? I don't see how those are related. It's going to be on body cam. That's going to be crazy if that gets released. The people will say it's fake, it's CGI, it's in a studio, it's an actor, it's AI. They'll for sure they won't believe. That's not going to matter.
Eyes wide shut.
The truth and reality doesn't matter for these type of conspiracy people.
You hear about something called the Saturn cult and the festival of Saturnalia. Why? Because these people trace themselves back to the progenitors who had originally settled on Saturn. So if you look in Eyes Wide Shut when they're all wearing the masks, they do this dance where they go around in a circle, and that emulates the rings of Saturn.
Oh, yeah, bro.
Because
nobody else would ever go around something in a circle. That must be secret Saturn worshipers. Come on, dude, already. Dude, it's actually like the Saturn cult. It's not Jews and Abrahamic religions. It's secret Saturn worshipers.
They trace themselves as the descendants of Saturn, and they believe that they're different from the rest of us, that they have extraterrestrial DNA that made them the gods. And that kind of is segueing into the next part of our talk. So there were a very small number of...
Dude, aliens from Saturn like secretly run our government, bro.
Survivors when the moon was blown...
Glubwub.
Glubwub sent $5 on Rumble. Conspiracies will come and go. The reality of white erasure will continue. All the Abrahamic cults legitimize it. Most Western countries enforce it. Reclaiming our homelands should be the main focus.
That meme has gotten really popular, even with like normie Republicans recently. And big guys like Elon Musk, although he just kind of gives it lip service. Trump and the Republican give it a little bit of lip service. But yeah, you're right.
Up, and they got out with only, apparently the story is, the moon was so badly hit that only a few of their damaged spacecraft got out, and their civilization on Earth was almost completely wiped out, so just a small number of them made it, and they crash landed on Earth. And they then interbred with humans, which they were specifically warned not to do, and this created what we call, in the book of Enoch, the fallen angels. Their offspring, their children most likely, the hybrids of their own form, which was about 36 feet tall, and native people on Earth, became these 12 to 13 foot tall, red-headed, white-skinned humans. And white skin was not normal for the Earth. And this is preserved in a book that the Vatican did not want you to read, that wasn't even found until the 1800s, but it's very old. It's as old as the book of Genesis, called the Book of Enoch. It's a very, very important text. And I'm going to be doing a lot more about this as I go on, probably writing it into my books. The Scottish explorer James Bruce discovered several copies of it in Ethiopia in 1773. It was translated in 1821, and Jesus quotes from this book in the New Testament, so he obviously thought it was pretty important. The key chapters are chapters 1 through 36, called the Book of the Watchers, and it says that this man, Enoch, was Noah's grandfather, and that he lived for 365 years. So he was some kind of extraterrestrial. Enoch acts as a messenger for what appear to be benevolent...
Big Mama says she used to gobble this shit up.
...benevolent extraterrestrials who had threatened these people on Earth, the Watchers, with total destruction that became Noah's flood. But before the flood, before their civilization was wiped out...
this conspiracy, dude, what are you just legitimizing the Bible? That's all these conspiracies lead to is, oh, the Bible's actually real, bro.
Again, because we're now talking about 12,000 years ago, the big Atlantean flood. They used Enoch as a messenger to kind of cut a deal with the good guys, the benevolent ETs, and say, would you please not destroy us? In this book, the Book of Enoch, it says that there was only 200 of them that descended. They became the fallen angels. Lucifer was one of the fallen angels, interestingly enough. He was the leader. The insiders have...
This guy also pushed like Trump QAnon stuff for a long time also. That I remember. I forgot. He went from the UFO grift to the QAnon grift.
Spoken to have said it's probably a lot more than 200.
He was like, oh, dude, it's all about... Trust the plan, man. It's all about to be a whole lot better. Corey Good, that was his accomplice in this. These guys were so out there, so ridiculous. Just making everybody's filling people's minds with complete rubbish slop.
The book of Enoch was removed from the Bible, but it's referred to by Jesus. It's referred to by a variety of people from that era as a very highly revered text. And it describes 200 fallen angels
Dinsdale
crashing
sent
to Earth,
$20.
being
Did
giants,
you see S.
and then
Lot's
becoming
fables on X? They seem to have disappeared. He made great animation.
I didn't notice that. Disappeared or got censored or deactivated the account or just hasn't posted for a long time.
cannibals who are actually hostile to Earth's population.
Don't hate this guy's a legend. No, he's not, dude. No, he's not. He's a slop merchant.
And we're ultimately
If he wasn't lying and grifting, he's delusional and schizo.
judged that they had to be wiped out in a big flood. It sounds like we're talking about the same thing here. So what's the connection with the Book of Enoch?
It is, and the information that I received was that these pre-Adamites had come down.
That I'm pre-Adamites are the this guy was always like, I met the aliens and I was on the spaceship and I saw the secret. He's a total bullshit artist.
And they were in the grand experiment. They shouldn't have been down here living openly amongst us, one, and two, they were now, you know, the 22 other genetic experiments that these genetic farmer races were conducting down here. This pre-Adamite group started co-opting it and interfering with it, so they had to be dealt with.
And just in case somebody's jumped in and they didn't see those episodes, you described that when the protective grid went down 500,000 years ago after the planet blew up and became the asteroid belt, that we then have right away these so-called genetic farmer ET races that are then able to get in immediately and begin taking DNA from all over the galaxy and tinkering with Earth DNA.
And
yeah, dude. Bro. The aliens. What if the alien space planet blew up and it turned into the asteroid belt, and they were like getting DNA from all over the universe to like breed superhuman Nordic overlord redheaded giants, bro.
Another big kook and flat earther was Rob Skiba, who passed away a few years back. I used to watch all his stuff too.
I've heard the name, but I don't know the face.
Exploring more and more of the ruins down there.
But there's, these people are everywhere, the people that promote this stuff.
Rooms that they were a series of corridors that were sort of arranged the same way you would see a circuit board. And they were made out of a gold copper alloy that had weird kind of circular carvings in them that they said were not for people to walk through. It was obviously for channeling large amounts of electricity. Not far from there, they found the genetic labs where they found all these different types of beings in different stages of being developed. And I did confirm that it was partially technological, partially...
Dude, anybody that falls for this con artist is a litmus test that you're a gullible idiot.
Most stunning events you've ever seen in your entire life. But we're not going to wait forever, and I don't want you to be tired either. I want you to be prepared. I want you to be ready. I want you to psychologically and emotionally prepare yourself for what will be the most stunning events you've ever seen in your entire life. That is what we're heading into. It is not going to stay like this, where people can still be skeptical and they can still be annoying and they can still say, well, I don't know if I believe any of this stuff. You will not have that luxury anymore. You will not have the luxury of denying what is going on. You will not have the luxury of being ignorant. It's become so obvious for those who are...
I'm not surprised that this guy, if this guy did have mental issues.
Something very, very crazy going on here. That the world is being run not the way we were told in school.
It makes you schizo.
Yo! If you speak with authority, people will buy anything.
Yeah. I wonder if he had guilt. Maybe that was part of his... He knew he was just a... slop peddling grifter that got everything wrong and made everybody retarded. It is a good song. I like the edits with that song. Who am I to disagree? He was looks vaxing.
It's dark, it's weird, it's scary. There is
This hair kind of looks a little bit like my hair.
under the bed.
Gotta admit.
Really being held back by the people who don't see this yet. And
Makes me want to cut my hair.
They don't see it is political ideology and fear.
Yeah, dude, trust the plan.
For me, my big focus on this show is a spiritual transformation that we're going through that has been predicted for literally 35 different cultures around the world in their ancient mythologies talked about the end of this 25,000-year cycle, the precession of the equinoxes, supposedly around the end of the Mayan calendar.
Travel the world in the seven seas.
Sure enough, in our next door neighbor's solar system, there was a solar flash on just about December 21st, 2012. That happened right over on Proxima Centauri, 4.24 light years away. It was released on March 16th, 2017. You dial that back in time, it goes to right around Christmas of 2012, which is only...
Yeah, my hairline's better.
...Mayan calendar end date of December 21st, 2012. Now, is that a coincidence? I don't think so. I think that our star is in a binary system with Alpha Centauri, which includes Proxima. And I think that this energetic release that would have happened in our solar system happened next door instead, because, if you will, the solar logos, the Christ consciousness of our solar system, gave us an extension, decided that we weren't just going to get flash fried and cooked into hash browns.
Dude, the Christ consciousness wanted to save us from the solar flare and the Alpha Centauri alien Saturnist. Do you hear this guy? I don't want to make fun of him. He's mental ill and killed himself, but
we get to have another chance. That's pretty freaking good. What happened to the people on Proxima Centauri, says BAGH. If there were any, then they probably got cooked up in the hash brown, son, because nothing's going to survive that. 63 times brighter to the naked eye. I mean, wow, it was a huge solar flash.
Jesus appeared to him in a solar flash?
So much energy being released that it would have boiled everything on the surface of the planet, 1,000 degrees Celsius or more. Let's be very glad that didn't happen here, because that seems to be the big secret. Anna Paulina Luna's again telling us to look at she's a congressional representative, look at the Book of Enoch. It has a solar flash in there. I showed you guys that before. I mean, it is just such a wild time to be alive.
Must solar flash.
It's so crazy, but at the same time, we have all these interesting things going on that involve, higher consciousness and extraterrestrials and disclosure. I cannot wait for this disclosure to happen, man. I mean, we've been waiting for so freaking long. It's like, just bring it on.
So I guess he got tired of waiting.
And it was supposed to be on Tuesday, right? It was supposed to be Tuesday.
Oh, he made a Tuesday prediction and it didn't happen? No wonder.
Representative Anna Paulina Luna sent a letter to the Pentagon. You got to get this done by then. But now BitChute, after talking to the president, introduces a bill. He just so happens to introduce a bill that gives the entire Pentagon authority to disclose, where no one group bottles it off.
Okay, bro. Okay. Here's the real viral clip that I saw everybody was making edits of and went super viral, where he talks about Jews a little bit and just butchers it and gets everything wrong and obfuscates what's going on.
One of the things that I learned from whistleblowers from the cabal itself,
the cabal,
they have to work within something they call the rules. And this is very, very important.
Dude, he's got hey guy, he's got an insider in the cabal, and he's going to tell you all the insider cabal secrets, okay?
Body of spiritual principles.
Yeah, the teeth look like dentures. They're fake. Way too white. They don't look that perfect, but they're just crazy white.
Principles that they must follow in order to be allowed to exist. Now, what do I mean by allowed to exist? I mean that they are aware that there are benevolent forces that will prevent them from achieving their goals unless we give them permission to enslave us. Ultimately, the universe is intelligent, alive, and conscious, and it is benevolent. It is a benevolent consciousness. That consciousness does not allow the negative to succeed unless it is invited. So the cabal has made a science, a very elaborate science, out of studying these arcane, occult, magical principles that allow them to get away with what they do. So they have to put out everything that tells you who they are in music videos, in these Super Bowl halftime shows, the Grammy Awards ceremonies. They're out there showing you the truth. This is what people are going to have so much trouble with once disclosure happens, is that these people actually practice black magic, and they are very, very good at it.
Oh, that's not the clip I thought it was. This is it.
Believe that these people honestly believe that they are the descendants of gods, that they are the chosen, that they are God's special people, that we are delusional, and that the true creator is this wisdom principle that they think of as Lucifer, that wisdom principle gave us ancient.
Thank you, Anne-Marie.
And that the enemy, which they call Adam.
Hail, God of wisdom.
Keep
up the good work, Adam.
The God of wisdom. Hey, did you see my new Viking axe? It was a sign from Odin today. I'm literally endorsed by the one true God of the universe, the All-Father, Odin. Anne-Marie, you like this? Look at this bad boy.
All the Christian God, came to try to defeat them. Then they even take it a step further and they look at texts like the Bible and they say that where it says in the end times that God will take the money from the wicked and restore it to the just, that we as a planet are the wicked and they are the just. So this is how they justify virus on the planet. This is one of a variety of ways in which they will usually embed their teachings into the villain.
All right. Oh, so based. So good. Okay, I can cover this stuff tomorrow. This is going to all be good tomorrow. We're going to end on Rabbi Yeshua was a Rasta.
Like if anything isn't making...
Look, here's your iPhone video, your vertical video of pointing out, just like the flat earthers wanted, iPhone doing selfie mode, switching over, pointing it through the spaceship aircraft window at the earth. Look at this.
The light you see on my face is earth shine.
Earth shine.
That is the beautiful earth in the window.
Dude. So amazing.
In case you're wondering.
So amazing. Check out the new background too. Tell me that's not the best photo ever taken. Seethe moon landing deniers, seethe NASA disrespecters. You'll never take a photo that cool. All right, we smashed the goal today. Thank you so much, guys. You're amazing.
They're nice.
Very nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, baby.
Thank you. Big show. I'll be back tomorrow for a morning show. Maybe I gotta get the hopefully the chair's here. I got it on Amazon. So hopefully it's here. I'll put it together in the morning. Do another Friday show. And if you haven't already, Substack, subscriber, private, book club, Zoom call. Be there Sunday, 8 p.m. for the second week. We're going over chapters 3 and 4 and hanging out and talking. We're going to do more than just the book, too. We're going to do watch parties on things, just VIP hangout chats. It's going to be the new big thing. Don't miss out on it. You will be mad. Anyway, going out again with High in Hyperborea. Rabbi Yeshua was a Rasta. All right, you guys know what to do. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Sign up for Substack, Subscribe Star. Support the channel, support the show, support the stream so I can keep doing them and take care of my family. And I will see you guys tomorrow.
Yeshua, Rasta King Selassie was Jesus in blackface, hiding from Babylon. Roman oppressors never knew he didn't die on the cross.
My new favorite song. With my Christian identity, brothers. Jah.
Yeshua smokes the herbal chalice and curses Hitler's birthday.
Oy vey.
High in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash down Babylon. Yeshua.
Jah man.
His eyes are
blue and he's not a Jew. Yeshua was a Rasta. Come on, everyone.
He smokes. Yeshua was a Rasta. His pure iron DNA is the most potent strain the world has ever seen. Christ gonna get high, 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 high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash, mash, mash down Babylon. Yeshua.
Where are all the Christian identity retweets?
Cross shape joint today. Yeshua was a Rasta. He's not brown like ash, he's white like deity diamond.
If you don't like this song, you're anti-white. If you don't like this song, you're probably Jewish.
Like a true Hyperborean or Rasta man.
You ever worship Yeshua?
Gonna get high, 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 high in Hyperborea. Yeshua gonna mash, mash, mash down Babylon.
Babylon.
Was a Rasta. His eyes are blue and he's not a Jew.
Yeshua was a Rasta.
He's as blonde as the Lebanese ash he smoke. Yes,
white Jesus
was a Rasta. His pure iron DNA is the most potent strain the world has ever seen.
High, 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 high in Hyperborea.
Yeshua gonna mash, mash, mash down Babylon. Yeshua was a Rasta. High in Hyperborea was a Rasta.
This is my type of Jesus.
Was a Rasta. High in Hyperborea.
I like to picture Jesus in a tuxedo t-shirt because it says like, I want to be formal, but I'm here to party too. I like to party, so I like my Jesus to party.
Down Babylon.
I like my Jesus to be a Rastafarian. Irie!